Welcome to Warhammer Quest, the adventure card game by Fantasy Flight Games. This is a video to celebrate that I have 100 subscribers. So this was a game I purchased while looking for the ultimate narrative-driven adventure card game. This is a very well-known game that later was, due to some legal rights, was halted in its development. That was originally planned by Adam Settler and Brady Settler to be expanded with several expansion packs. The game is out of print, but that doesn't mean that it's expensive. The base game can be purchased for about 15 euros. People play through it once and then put it up for sale again. There are a lot of copies, so I don't think you have problems getting it. But I'll show you what the game eventually became. So aside from the base game, nobody else seems to be aware of the expansions. The expansions are hobby-based or fan-based, fan-created. They use the same kind of adventure format that we'll go through later. Because Fantasy Flight Games, you might know it from Arkham Horror, the living card game, has this tendency to write extremely technical manuals that are just more effort than you would need. So how am I going to showcase this? I think I'm going to showcase this first. My apologies for this box. I want to make actually such a box, this format, but I was unsure if there would be more expansions. But somewhere around 2017, the how do you say, the zeal stopped, and people stopped making fan-based creations. So I think I have the at least an indication of what all possible content would be. This probably won't fit in a copy of this box. Let's see. I have a ton of material, so this will be a series of videos. That doesn't really matter much, of course. But if you're not interested, then for the next week or so, you can stop watching my videos. Let's see what we have here. So this can easily fit about the height, if you look at this like so, the height of half such a box. Because you want to flip through these things. But that's not all, because we also have this enormous pile of cards. I made most of these cards with an office printer, and later I quit my job, so I had to resort to a professionally printed service, online service. But Yeah, you can also use, and much later I got an Epson inkjet desk printer, so I can make them at will. They don't cost much ink because it's an ink tank. So I might rework several of these adventures. As you can see, there are the official size is like so, but you don't need everything, especially with cards like this. They can be printed half size because the font is large enough, at least for people my age. Well, let's go through the adventures first, then all the fan-based heroes, and what else is there? Yeah, some of these adventures, they also have custom cards. Yeah, let's just take a look at what I have, because the last time I opened this box was several years ago. So here we have something that could be called a playmat. So you have enemy that is drawn. This would be the exploration value. So you need to explore through a dungeon. There is gear, and there is dungeon cards and dungeon discard. Not sure if this is enough. I seem to remember that it was bigger than that. But nevertheless, it's a very efficient game that doesn't use a lot of table space. Of course, everything is better with more people. The game is designed or scaled optimally for 4 persons. And the original idea is, of course, that 4 heroes, they provide excess synergy. So you lose that synergy when you play with 3 heroes. Of course, you can also play 4-handed or 3-handed or 2-handed. The most online influencers showcase it with 2 heroes, and some of these adventures, adventures, are designed specifically for 2 players. So maybe, yeah, and the complaint is that for the normal adventures, the difference from 4 players to 3 players to 2 players is not balanced enough. But I'll show you how to compensate for that. So this is the base game, the rules reference guide. As you can see, a lot of terminology, typical fantasy flight game stuff. So you would be, if you follow this, then you would be flipping back and forth ad nauseum to find everything, because they all reference each other, and nothing gives an actual full explanation. So you have to get this completely in your head if you want to even play it. Then there is the learn to play. The learn to play, as discussed online on YouTube also. It is a good way to learn to play, but the whole point of such a quest is that you have a nemesis, and the nemesis is not explained in the learn to play. The learn to play is just learn to play the basic stuff. Here the nemesis isn't even mentioned. Is that true? Yes, it only says here enemy cards, but the nemesis is a special card with special effects. So you're supposed to play with versus the red swarm. I could pick a custom hero and play through the tutorial setup if that is helpful. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, so for the basic hero progress through a campaign, you have quest 1, quest 2, quest 3, or each one is such a card, and you have basic actions that you start with, and these can be changed into advanced actions by using the other card or the other side. So for some weird reason, the cards are single-sided, so there's a blank page on the back. But you will, well, in a normal version, you would have the advanced and the basic sides back to back. So you can only need to use a single card. It's easier for saving if you have a ziplock to use single-sided, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so when you level up, you can exchange one of these cards for an advanced version. To level up, level 2, 3, and 4. So you have 1 basic, and then 2 is 1 flipped, 3 is another flipped, 5. So the first 5 levels are covered by flipping one of these cards. Aside from leveling via the cards, you can also level by gaining legendary items. There is an imaginary shop phase between the adventurers.